Well, hello again if you're watching. Sorry for the delay. It's been a little bit tragic getting here, a couple of crashes, but hopefully it'll be relatively stable now, although I really am not holding my breath. So, here we are at Dublin. Don't see any other aeroplanes, that's a problem. I thought this was meant to work on VATSIM, but here at Dublin we should have someone parked here. I don't see them. That's a problem. Maybe we won't be doing this on VATSIM. Maybe I won't be doing this at all. It's a little bit pointless if I can't fly it VATSIM. Let's see if we can get anything to work on here. I don't think. Right, let's see if there's anything we can do with the old plugins. Does that happen? So nothing else has changed. Maybe if I try disconnecting and reconnecting. I'm certainly showing up on the servers, but if I can't see anyone here, then it's not ideal. It's not looking good, so I might end up giving this up and trying again tomorrow, when hopefully beta 3 will be out. I don't know if X-Plane's got anything to do with this. But frame rate wise, I have turned up the settings. Reflections have gone up one notch. I've turned down the the world object density, and I've turned the anti-aliasing up, which actually I think I'm quite happy with. It's just the shadows that look terrible now. But certainly when you look at the aeroplane and you look at some of these GPUs working a bit harder to produce that, but it's still being much better, more efficiently used. The curves are looking pretty good. Certainly looking at the corners there, I think it looks pretty spot on. But okay, so there isn't anyone sat next to us now, but there is a Shamrock over here. Okay. They're here, I can see them. We're on. Right, let me just get set up and apologise for all of the extraneous chat that I've just gone through. We are going to be a little bit behind schedule. But well done to, I think the guy is Justin that does X-Pilot. Well done to him for getting that working relatively quickly. I was getting pretty sad not being able to fly online. Let's just get all the light switches set up as I normally do. One thing that really impressed me was the cockpit shadows in X-Plane originally. Now they're a bit blocky, and once we smoothen that out, that'll be grand. So here we are, stand 122 at Dublin. We know what our call sign is, and we've got a nice big monitor, second monitor to use. So Shannon's online, but nobody else is. So 13115, that's fine. 228. Hopefully we'll get approach at Bristol. If not, we'll be doing that on Unicom. 1315 we've got, but we've got no power on. I've already started smart cars, so we can get going as soon as possible. And hello again, Rick. Good to see you. Sorry about the faff. So what GPU do I have? I have, what I really need to do is pop this in the video descriptions, which I will write down. And do hardware and put everything in there so that people can see it. But I've got an NVIDIA GTX 1070 Ti with a little bit of an overclock, so it runs at approximately the same speeds as the 1080. So a bit of an old card, but still I think quite a good one. I didn't want to spend thousands on a card, so that's what I run, and it's in a mini ITX case, so it does get a little bit warm, and I am thinking about changing case, but I can't really find a decent ITX case that I like. Anyway, let's get onto the overhead. Use on, so my ground power's on. External lights are set to steady. Let's get the aeroplane. I'll just do the overhead and then get into this. So IRSs are aligning. I'm going to pop the yaw damper on. I've got to check the crossfeed, the fuel can stay off because we're going to get fueled. Cabin util and IFE are on. Lights are off. Belt signs are off. Igniters to right. Cabin diff is 0. Pretty much sea level here anyway. Hydraulic pumps can go on. Window heats can come on. Go on. Pax auto. APU's on. Our cruise today is relatively low, but quite high for a short sector. Don't know if you can see that there. 270. So 27,000 we have set, and that's the overhead. It's not the overhead done. I need to pop Bristol 600, but that is now the overhead done. Turn these off for just a moment. We'll see our departures out of Dublin, usually 9,000. We'll see what's most appropriate. Brakes on and test lights out. Hydraulic pressure we have. Radio panel is set, and ATIS 124525, so let's pop that on. That's ready, and I'm just going to rearrange this so I've got the stream there. I would like Xpilot there, and I think I can see everything good. So I can see not only the stream and the chat, but a little bit as well. Yeah, VATSIM is busier than real life. Dublin's quite quiet, but if I haven't got VATtastic. I've got VATScope on my iPad, and if I look on that, there are 1,436 pilots online as of 5 minutes ago, and that includes me. So yeah, pretty much the same as in real life. And then if you add IVAO in as well, pretty interesting. So we're pretty light today for our trip. Please tell me if you can't see this, because I know I should zoom it in and bring it a little bit closer. So we've got 97 packs. Stick them in. Got 1311. I'm going to pop in the rear hold, getting us close to about 21. That'll do for me. And 6029. Block fuel with a 30-minute reserve, because just in case it is no approach at Bristol, we have to do procedural. I would prefer to do a procedure arrival than direct, just for the practice. I'm probably not going to hand fly it like I did last time though. So we'll get the truck on the way. We'll get the flight leg started. I started Smart Cars at 31:47, so we'll call that 60, 32, 42, 52. Not before, which is 10 minutes from now. Schiphol is busy, yeah, so I mean, the traffic's pretty heavy everywhere. Europe looks like the most dense to me. There's quite a bit in the US, and I would like to do some US trips, so I am downloading the Ortho, but I don't know if I mentioned in the last stream I got a Toshiba hard drive that literally sounds like a tractor. So I'm sending that back. Hopefully a new one will arrive from Amazon relatively soon, and then I can move the Ortho onto it and then get the US, Canada. FSX Hobbies, hello, I don't think I've seen you before, thanks for joining. Do you see VATSIM traffic in Explain 11.52 Beta 2 with Xpilot? So Xpilot has been updated. And if I just zoom us out, there is only one person at Dublin, but they are that little shamrock over there, and I can see them. So I'm a happy bunny. I'm happy to fly on VATSIM now that I can see the traffic, because obviously that's what was stopping me before. So yes, it looks like it's all working. Like I said, the delay is due to a couple of crashes, so the beta is a little bit unstable, I think. I kind of wish I hadn't got it, but I'm sure beta 3 will be out either late tonight or early tomorrow morning UK time. I'll get that, and it's been pretty stable, to be honest, from my perspective so far. So I am happy with it. So thanks for joining. As always, please like, subscribe, and I'll try and give you a bit more notice now, but I wanted to get to Bristol before dinner and before they shut later, so. And I also wanted to make it a daylight flight so I can enjoy the Ortho.
Advise on initial contact, you have information.
Time to get the ATIS.
This is IO information Mike. At time 1500, expect ILS approach runway 10 in use. Transition level 60. Wind 080 degrees 10 knots. Cap OK. Temperature 13. Dew point 8 QNH 1024. No significant change. Advise on initial contact.
Let's check the takeoff config, which works. And we're still Shannon only. Get rid of that. So 13115 is fine. We'll ask them for clearance. But right now, let's get into the FMC. The nav data is current and correct. One thing I did suggest on the forums was Autoland seems to still be a bit balked. So we are not cleared for any Autolands, not that we're going to need them today. But I thought Zibo airworthiness directives or Zibo developer NOTAMs would be a really good idea for. Currently, this is broke, don't use it, because you will crash or die or be embarrassed. Would be quite a good idea. That was just an idea, but it's certainly something we're going to consider, that if we were to experience some sudden fog at Bristol, we would just divert to our alternate, which is Stansted. So position, we are at Echo India Delta Whiskey, and I'm going to rattle through this. We're at stand 122, GPS left goes in. The route is not particularly long to type in, I don't think, today. If I can find it, there we go. But I'm just going to load it up anyway. Echo Golf Delta is Bristol. We are Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. And there we go. That route is now loaded. DEXEN, Upper Yankee 124 AMPIT, Lima 15 RISLA, November 8622 RETSI. And it's 270. 270. So happy there. Going to activate that route and execute it. Zero fuel weight. 52.2, so we are what, 700 kilos lighter. So minus 0.7, 52.2, which is not going to cause us any issues. If anything, we're going to have slightly more fuel when we get there, but we're going to keep an eye on the fuel burn, just because people have said that it is, people have had issues. I haven't, but we are going to keep an eye on it. Now trip and taxi 2.2. You can actually put that in and it will round it up for you. Our reserves 2.5, round up 2.6, round up again 2.7. That's the point at which we should divert to our alternate, which is Stansted. And I like to round it up because it just gives you a minute or two extra to get on your way. So 270 is our cruise. Top climb wind 235 at 29, and it's +1 ice and deviation in Celsius. Execute. I'll do the takeoff performance in a little bit. So if I put M1 on there, that will remind me to do it, and we'll get our departure clearance. So 1024. Maybe the weather needs an update, because that's not representative, although it should update when we put runway in. Good, right, so everything is on. Shannon, good afternoon, Ryanair 7 Delta X-Ray. I missed chatting on the radio.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-Ray, Shannon, control, good evening, go ahead.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-Ray 738, information mic stand 122 at Dublin. Request departure clearance to Bristol, please.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-Ray, Shannon, roger, clear to Bristol, be a DEXEN to Echo departure off runway 10, initial climb level 90, squawk 6667.
DEXEN 2 Echo, runway 10, initial climb flight level 90, squawk 6667, Ryanair 7 Delta X-Ray.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-Ray, read back correct information, mic QNH checks 1023, report ready.
Information about QNH 1023, Wilco, Ryanair 7 Delta X-Ray. Did I read the QNH to him? Maybe not. This is what happens when you're not on the radio.
70.
Okay, so he's also sent that via text, which was the little bleepy noise that we heard. And so it's time to have a look at the charts. Just for brevity's sake, I'm not going to bring them up.
Shamrock 1 kilo Alpha, Shannon. Shamrock 1 kilo Alpha, Shannon, we check you approaching Dogal, radar control service terminate, report your position over Dogal, Gander radio 1317, bye bye.
Yeah, I'm not going to bring the charts up on screen just because I have got them. It's 098 for the departure. That's the runway heading. We cleared 9,000. So our departure, we are DEXEN 2 Echo. We are going to be track 099. And that is from the Collinstown VOR, which is 111.2. And that is the only nav aid that we need. Dublin VOR 1149er for the MSA is just going to leave that. Let's go 333 because that's will be initially in the sector of 4,000.
Red Note 7 Alpha Hotel, Shannon, roger, descent flight level 370.
242 is our departure elevation. 1242 for the mid flap. So we know that it's runway 10. It's a DEXEN 2 Echo departure. Just checking that for the chart is correct. Our arrival is going to be a Bryce. I thought it was 1 Alpha. Let's just check. FP. And we're going to expect ILS 09, and I'm going to expect it to be procedural outbound, so I'm just going to pop that in now. And we go back to the N1, the initial 554, which is 8 DME, is going to take us above 3,000, yes, and then we need to be above flight level 120 at DEXEN. That is also fine. So takeoff performance-wise, let's load up the ACARs. It's going to be slightly heavy for unpredicted weight, but that's not a problem. Way 10, optimum everything. Got the weather, 1023, 100.08. Slightly different to what I've got. Calculate that, flap 5, 22 plus 60. So that gives us 2600, so that's 22k plus 60 and 2600 needed. And we have, I don't know what I'm having trouble with, ugly graph on my iPad. Let me just close it down. Move it up again. 60, 22k gives us 86 yes. Takeoff flap 5. The VATSIM wind was 108, which is slightly different. I'm going to go thrust reduction at 1000. And I believe at Dublin it's, no, let's go the full net up to 5.5, V speeds 135, 136, 138. Set 138. Now we've got to set the squawk as well while I think about it. 6, 6, 6, 7. Flight directors can now go on master my side.
Romeo Shannon, Nim Control Airspace to the southeast, London West on flying Unicom 128 on flight to Heathrow, bye.
128, 720 Romeo, thanks, bye-bye.
So, happy with the performance, and we have to, just loading up the charts because I want to take and see the takeoff distance available. There we go, that's starting to work now. So 2637, so we do need the full departure. It's a dry runway, it's flap 5, 22k, assume temp limit of 60. We will get away slightly earlier than that because we are light and we're going to start the APU because we are essentially ready to go. So let's start getting the airplane secure. I haven't had any issues with better pushback.
Hey Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
So let's do that.
Great news, Captain, your tow's coming.
What I am going to do is just leave the frame rate counter up there, and that's a little bit distracting and unrealistic, but it is useful to see how much better it is and how much better the GPU is being utilised, certainly. So, happy with the departure. No questions on the chat, but as always, and as ever, thanks for watching. Sorry it's a bit of a rush and I didn't get to bring the charts up. But we'll have a look at a bit more detail on the way into Bristol. So because we're online, we're going to wait until we get hooked up and ready to go before we call ready for push. And I should have put the pumps on for the APU.
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
So the overhead looks fine, just a quick panel scan of everything to make sure it's what we would expect. So yeah, if you are watching and you are considering using the beta, like I say, it seems a little bit unstable in loading occasionally, but I've had pretty good luck with it, and now X-Pilot's working. Happy days. I mean, hopefully we don't get any dramas. But if we do, we do. If it crashes, it crashes. It's just unfortunate, but like I say, I think it's certainly worth it for me because the quality is so much better.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pens inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
We are ready to go. We're going to call Channel Ryanair 7 Delta X-Ray. Stand 122 at Dublin. Request push and start.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-Ray, push and start approved, face west.
Push and start approved, face west, Ryanair 7 Delta X-Ray. So we've already anticipated that. We have been cleared, so out of beacon.
Red Nose 5, Alpha Hotel, in control airspace to the southeast, London West offline, resume on navigation, Unicom 128 on flight camera square.
Hello, Ryanair 816, 737 Dublin, stand 125, with November 1024, request to go to Edinburgh.
Binary 816, Shannon Control, good day, clear to Edinburgh, roll to 6 Echo.
So we are good to go, 16:57.
Level 90 to squawk.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
It's relatively short.
6 Echo departure runway 10, initial climb, flight level 90, squawk 6657, Ryanair 816.
And we've got
Binary 816, all correct information, November to finish, Dublin 6,
20 on board.
Roger 1023, copied, Wilco run 816.
Shannon, American 624 Heavy is with you.
It's nice to have the accents. I did miss VATSIM.
American 624, Shannon Control, good day, identify clear direct to Dogal, maintain your level 360.
Roger, and we do have position report. Expecting clearance to Dogal, flight level 340.
So let's go ahead and start engine number 2.
Dogal, then 5620, 5830, 5940, 5950.
Oh god, do that by text.
And
Jeez.
expecting Dogal at 1738. American 624 Heavy.
Okay, American 624, Shannon, Roger, be advised you're in radar controlled airspace of your radar control service.
Roger that, American 624 Heavy.
So 25% bingo, fuel comes on.
Skyway 34, Shannon Control, good day, squawk 6630.
Start to cut out.
Skyway 34, Shannon, thanks, identified, maintain flight level 350.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Parking brake set, start engine number 1.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Control, good afternoon. Speedbird 82 Delta Mike with you. Fast flight level 220.
Speedbird 82 Delta Mike, Shannon Control, good day, confirm squawk 4457.
Yes, squawk 4457. Speedbird 82 Delta Mike.
So looking for 25% again.
Shannon, thanks,
Fuel
identified
idle.
and cleared factory 1 Romeo, arrival for the ILS runway 10, descent flight level 100.
Shame we're not coming back to
Factory
Dublin.
1
Don't get to do
Romeo
runway
and,
10 very often.
Descent flight level 100. Speedbird 82 Delta Mike.
82 Delta Mike, thanks, and when you get a chance, recycle a transponder and squawk 6626.
6626 for 82 Delta Mike.
Start to cut out. 2, 4,
And
6,
we're
2
disconnected.
stable
Signal
engines.
and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe
So
flight.
before taxi flow, it's easiest if you start there and work your way up and down. I like doing it that way, it just flows better. There's the pin, flap 5, you just got run over. So, flight control check, full forward, full aft, full left, full right, full left rudder, full right rudder, checked, recall before taxi checklist, so generators, oh that's interesting considering it's so high you still get that jaggedness there. Generators are both on, APU is off, start switch is continuous, probe heats on, anti-ice not required, air conditioning cruise 270 set, PAX auto, bleeds on, isolation valve auto, flap 5, green light, stab trim 5.5 set, 5.5 required, flight controls checked, recalls checked, and we're ready to taxi. Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray stand 122, request taxi. Maybe he was talking to someone else. Shannon Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. go.
Runner 7 Delta X-ray Shannon, taxi straight ahead, link 5, Papa 1, cross 1634, Whiskey 3, Whiskey 2, Sierra, total 1.07.
So, link 5, Papa 1, cross 1634, Whiskey 3, Whiskey 2, taxi Sierra, hold Sierra 7, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. Oh, taxi. So, we have been cleared. We are clear left. We are clear right. I needed to write that down pretty quick, but I know where we're going. It's actually easier than you might think. Brakes off, config checked, and we're on our way. 6 o'clock, should be less than an hour, so I'll get dinner at a reasonable time. And we'll get to Bristol at a reasonable time as well. Bristol with its humpy runway. So you can see the Collinstown VOR over there.
No shuttle flight service you stand 415 information November 8 copy
So it's not the first left, it's the second. It's worth confirming that with the chart because it's easy to get a bit lost when the signage is not great. Markings here don't look as good as the HD ones.
North Shuttle 55 Victor, Shannon, clear to Keflavik, Incur 6 Echo, departure, runway 10.
So this is link 5.
Joe, your squall.
Papa 1 is ahead here. We've been cleared to cross the runway straight ahead. We'll just follow the taxiways all the way down.
Keflavik via Incur 6 Echo departure out of runway 10. Initial climb flight level 90 and squawk.
Still check.
05, North Shuttle 55 Victor.
North Shuttle 55 Victor, read back correct. Information November, QNH Dublin,
That is pretty good.
Pascal's report ready.
Pretty good
Approaching 3, 4.
level of zoomage.
Thank you.
Speedbird 82 Delta Mike, you're cleared direct to Oslex. The Oslex right tap for the ILS runway 10.
Roger, direct to Oslex, Speedbird 82 Delta Mike.
Delta 072 Shannon.
Shannon, go ahead. Delta 072.
Delta 072 Shannon, even controlled airspace, radar control service terminate. London North is offline, so we Unicom 128 and have a nice flight on standby.
Roger, over to Unicom 122.8 Delta 072. Thank you. Goodbye.
So this
Channel Echo India Charlie Alpha.
is not Mike.
Echo India Charlie
It's
Alpha,
whiskey.
Shannon, control, good day, Dublin QNH 1023.
So that was one of the reasons that I wanted to get this scenery, was I thought it would be updated.
Just approaching Bray, 1500 feet 0076 for the squawk. You'd like to enter the zone and cross the active for Iona, please.
Echo India Charlie Alpha, that's all copy, cleared into the Dublin control zone at above 1500 feet on 1023.
Make straight into the zone, not above 1500, 1023 Echo Charlie Alpha.
And Echo Charlie Alpha, you can do Pigeon House chimneys and direct to the field. Report Pigeon House.
Fort Pigeon House chimneys, Echo Charlie Alpha.
So we're going to anticipate a relatively rapid clearance, just as I don't think.
Ryanair 816, request permission start, stand 125.
Ryanair 816 from 125, push star proof, face west.
Push start proof, face west,
And
Ryanair
we're on
816.
VNAV for the takeoff because of the
Ryanair
noise
7
mode.
Delta X-ray, you long enough taxi for your checklist on reaching, clear to enter line up takeoff 10, the surface wind 10008.
On reaching cleared, line up takeoff runway 10, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, thanks. So we've definitely got long enough. So we can pop all the lights on.
Speedbird 71 Foxtrot, Shannon, leave control airspace to the southeast, London West, offline, I'm afraid, Unicom 1228, I'm let's flight Heathrow, bye-bye.
Unicom 1 to the slide, plus to the Sun 1 Foxtrot, thanks, bye-bye.
Angola 364, same for you, leaving control airspace to the southeast, London West, offline, Unicom 1228,
So we are good to go.
22.8.
We're pretty much bang on time, so our estimated landing time is 5:03 if we took off a minute ago, so should be there before 7. He's right, it's a long old taxi. It's good to get the scenery back up. I mean, it is pretty good with the buildings. It just needs a little bit of work on the taxiway names and everything else. So It's a shame that's not updated. I mean, I'd update it myself if I could. I think I even asked Chris if he'd have a look, but he's lost the will to live when it comes to submitting things to the gateway.
Channel control speedbird A2 Delta Mike is at 10,000.
Red 2 Delta Mike, descent to 3000, QNH 1023 to be level right up.
Roger, down to 3000,
quick.
level 5, right up, and
Slow the airplane down.
Speedbird A2 Delta Mike.
And we're not going to muck about when we get there, so we're going to have 2.9 in each tank. So we have been cleared to take off, not just line up, take off as well. So we obviously knew what the traffic situation was. There's the VOR just over there.
Good afternoon, Ryanair 6071 is descending to flight level 100. Information November inbound to Nelbo.
Ryanair 6071, channel control, good day, confirm squawk 5427.
So we have checked. Nothing on TCAS.
Affirmative squawk 5427, Ryanair 6071.
Ryanair 6071, Shannon Roger, identified on the
We're
squawk,
going to use
cleared 9-1
as
Romeo,
much of the
arrival
runway as we
ILS,
can.
runway 10 Dublin, and you can descend.
Approaching
60
10.
If unable for the restriction, no problem.
File check.
Copy that. We'll expect RS runway 10, Lima 1 Romeo, arrival Ryanair 6071.
Affirm. Descent level 160.
Copy flight level
There's
160.
the runway, there's 40%.
On runway
9 minutes
10.
past. Okay, feel the rudder pedals. Power. Toga. Time. Forward pressure on the control column till 80 knots. Check, so bring the control column back to neutral. Wind is straight down the run.
V1, rotate.
Hands off the throttle. About 3 seconds to 10, so that was a little bit slow. The
Positive rate.
flight director's following, so up to 15. Gear up. Made that look harder than it is.
400.
LNAV.
$1,000.
Command A, so that's interesting, isn't it? Flight director seemed to all over the place in roll. Looking pretty good. I'm not sure if that's just the free ortho.
Echo Charlie Alpha approaching VHF.
Good evening, Cherry Alpha Channel Roger, traffic information, 737 got airborne off to a 2200 DEXEN.
Yeah, it's happening inside Echo Charlie Alpha.
Might be a factor, it's all over the place.
Echo Cherry Alpha, you can, do you want to route along 3-4 for Iona?
Possibly across the midpoint and route just to the west and north of the tower. Echo Charlie Alpha coming from the north side.
Echo Cherry Alpha, that's route.
So there's the airplane bugging up.
To midfield, west of the tower, and clear set down at Iona, subsequent at the field, 1008.
So, accelerating track vector, flap 1.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, report passing altitude.
Passing altitude 3,500, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray.
7 Delta X-ray, thanks, that checks, identified on departure, clear direct DEXEN, climb level 230 and speed is 0.
Direct DEXEN, free speed, climb 230, thanks, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray.
Freebird A2 Delta Mike to Oslex, right up, cleared ILS approach 10,
There we go, passing.
call stop.
Flap up. Water break off.
Roger back.
Flaps up, no lights. Gear up and off. We can go direct DEXEN.
Okay, firm, clear for the approach, call stop.
And we have free speed.
Ryanair 816 request taxi.
Ryanair 816, taxi straight ahead, link 5, Papa 1, expect further Papa 1.
Taxi straight ahead, link 5, hold Papa 1.
4 pumps, happy. So that should save us a little bit of time, and we're getting our most efficient climb. The aeroplane seems a little bit all over the place though, not quite following the line. See if we double tap it. And we have been cleared of flight level. So we'll set that so a lot to do more in a short space of time. There you go, stocking rate of climb, nice and light. Even with a reduced climb, 3,300 feet a minute. Look at that frame rate. It's brilliant.
Good morning or good afternoon. Looking for orange, requesting IFR clearance up to Zurich.
So this side of the Dublin VOR, that's why I put that one in there. That MSA here is 2,400. Not that we need to worry about it today.
So it's 401 Channel Control, good day, clear to Zurich, it'll be in a assembly.
So Echo Golf Charlie Bravo is at Barton. What the hell is that? Where have I put my phone? There's my phone. Right, let me look it up.
So it's 401 Channel clear to Zurich, passage to Echo departure off runway 10, initial climb level 90, your squawk 6603.
Yes, City Airport, Barton. Wow, well done me. Don't know how I knew that. So Manchester's on, London's on, but that's about it.
Ryanair 816, cross 1634, Whiskey 3, Whiskey 2, 107.
Sorry, step on there, just confirm cross 34 and then Sierra 7 via Whiskey 3, Whiskey 2, Ryanair 816.
816, all correct.
4 pumps.
And 816 traffic information, Sikorsky 92, he's attempting to land just off your 1 o'clock.
Attempting to land, that's a bit harsh.
Roger, looking Ryanair 816.
Just caution, there may be some debris hitting her.
Wow.
I sent up with 401 again, if we lost connection to the voice server, please.
Yep, send it again. Clear to Zurich, passage to Echo departure off 10, initial climb, flight 90, squawk 6603.
Okay, we're clear to the Zurich will be the passage to departure, runway 10, climb 89,000, squawk 6603, with 401.
This is 401, all correct information, November, the QNH 1023, report ready.
So one thing I do have to do is set our arrival, Bristol 1023, before top of climb.
5 Victor, push start approved, QNH 1023.
QNH 1023, push start approved.
Anyway, Kevin's still happily climbing, crew and packs released.
Speedbird 84, Delta Mike, correction 82, Delta Mike, clear to land 106.
So you can see Price taking us straight down into Bristol.
Roger that, clear to land runway 10, Speedbird 82, Delta Mike.
You can see England, the outline thereof.
Shannon Control, 893 Heavy, information November, missing aircraft clearance.
So nothing from Bristol. Actually, no, we got Bristol ground.
Mission flight level 160, Ryanair 607.
East Midlands approach.
Ryanair 607, 10 level 110.
I think we picked all the wrong places to go.
Ryanair 6071.
I am sorry if the mic levels were a bit too high. They look like they were pretty high. I do try and make it so I'm able to be heard a little bit above.
Oscar Echo, Oscar 893, Channel Control, good day. You're clear to...
Brilliant frame rate.
You're clear to Lisbon. It'll be a BPAN 2 Echo departure off runway 10, initial climb flight 90, your squawk 6617.
Runway 893 Heavy cleared to Lisbon via BPAN 2 Echo departure runway 10, initial climb flight level 90, squawk 6617.
893, read back correct information, November, QNH 1023, report ready, push and turn.
So the ATIS for Bristol is...
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, leaving controlled airspace, radar control service terminate, Unicom 128, MS, Victor, Bristol, good day.
Unicom 122.8, thanks for the service as always, take care by Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray.
Bye.
So on to the Unicom and Bristol ATIS 126025. Good, we are picking it up, but it's horribly static. shaky. So it doesn't look like we're going to have an approach to speak of. It's a shame that it didn't tell us about East Midlands. We could have gone there. But whatever. London Centre, are we going to speak to them? Possibly, so I'm going to tune that up. 127. I thought it was west that covered us, but you never know. And we are going to be going straight over the valley. The airway takes it right over valley and straight over Anglesey, which is just ahead of us here. So there is RF Valley down there.
$1,000 to go.
So we are going to self-clear ourselves to 270. Set once, set twice, set 3 times. Should have done a 10 check, it's too busy chatting. Diff 7, cabin's about 3.5 and climbing steadily. Pressurising happily. So DEXEN, we are now in the London FIR, and we're just following our way all the way down. And I have plumbed in the arrival just because we knew that it's the only real arrival that you can get in, and it takes us straight overhead, so I'll get those charts up in a moment. Enjoying the scenery. Maybe bumping about a little bit. So zoom level 17 looks a little bit blurry actually. That could just be an X-plane thing. So there's no Cardiff, Gatwick approaches online. Anyway, I'm sure it's going to be busy over the weekend and tomorrow, so doing a lot of that. So let's get our descent forecast in. So we're at 270, so we need the 200, 150, 100. It's 1023, though we'll get the actual in a moment.
1,000 to go.
200 is 175 at 9. 50 is 218 at 11. 100 is 157 at 7. So arriving to Bristol, the transition altitude from the approach chart is 6,000 with 1023 gives us 70. I've got to bother with the ISO. But what we are going to do is have a listen to the ATIS.
7 knots. Visibility 10. Kilometers or more, no cloud detected. Temperature +2.
It's looking a bit better.
Dew point +6. QNH 1023. Threshold elevation 601 feet. Bristol information. Acknowledge your receipt of information Foxtrot. And advise aircraft type on first contact sign 1650. Automatic. Runway in use 27.
Oh, okay.
Transition level flight level 70. Surface wind 140. 7 knots. Visibility 10. Kilometers or more, no cloud detected. Temperature +22. Dew point +6. QNH 1023. Threshold elevation 601 feet.
Happy. So that provides an interesting little challenge because I think that gives us a slight tailwind. 140. I'm surprised that 27's in left, 27's in use. I suppose it is. What are we looking at off the beam? If we're looking at 40 degrees, half of 7. Yeah, I suppose it's not a huge amount of tail. So we'll stay on that arrival. Let's get the charts up so you guys can see them. So arrival, Rice 1 Alpha. The approach is going to be 09, which we have done before. No, shut up. I keep thinking 09 because it makes sense to me. But it's 27, so that'll get us to the locator. You could then enter the hold. We might go straight to the locator and then outbound. We do need to check the outbound. 268 inbound to then land, and then the airport charts, there are not many of them. That's us done. I'm going to keep that open just in case, but you can see 414 is the NDB, so let's set 414 on both. Do we need any other nav aids? So those intersections are defined from the bracket VOR, but it's not going to be a huge amount of use to us. Pop over, but I will pop it on 117. 45. What important to us is 110. 5 for the ILS. And there is Bracken. I suppose we could put 136 on there, couldn't we? Then I think about our minimums on the way in for the ILS. 801. Looks like it's going to be a pretty severe CAV-OK afternoon. So ILS 27, and what we want is 103 outbound. Now, in my mind, 1 would be A and B. 2 would be that, but I think it'll be this way round. There you go, 103 outbound, and that just seems a bit backwards to me, but it is what it is. That's 103 track outbound from the beacon to 8 DME from the ILS, and inbound to 268. So we want 268 set here. About the landing performance as well. Still nothing on the approach. We've got London Centre and London South, but I don't know if we will catch them. We've got what's out to our left. Liverpool is down there somewhere. At least I thought it was. The Manchester Ship Canal in it, or is it? Or are we so far right above it that we can't see it? We're being dense. Is it just behind that cloud? Yeah, there's Liverpool. As we know, because we did the outbound and went all the way over here to come back in. A fun procedural approach. Anyway, the most important thing is that VATSIM's working. Bristol Tower, Coventry, I think. Approach, so we'll be doing our own thing on Unit tell us otherwise. And if we need to, we can adjust those legs. So, I'm going to execute that. Go to the progress page. We're going to use 0.7, so 56.1. 27. The wind was 140 at 7. It's 22 degrees. It's 1023. We reckon 56.1. We'll try flat 40 and see what we get. As you can see, 4 knot tailwind, 6 knot crosswind. And that's looking pretty sporty. So, we'll break 3. VREF 135. Sorry, the app of 135 and a VREF of 130. And that's essentially our landing performance done. Nice and easy. We'll break set for the approach. And we might as well just go over and outbound. You could cut that leg short and go in to intercept. So 5.8 is the descent, so you could potentially create an 8 mile point or a 10 mile point for a 10 mile final, and then to, let's say, Ingo the speed limit point, and then vector yourself in. You can give yourself a base leg as well using some custom waypoints, which is why it's really useful to learn how to use those. And if we don't have ATC, those restrictions are what we're going to go for. 160, 160, 3000 above, and I'll try. That's for the procedure. If we were doing continuous descent, we would bring that one up. Runway 27, it's visual, so it's going to be a 4 mile fixed ring. It's also going to be a 10 mile fixed ring, and then 30 for SA. And then as we start descending, we're going to run to the toilet quickly. Hopefully before I have to talk to anyone. Still nothing. No approach online. So, yeah, you could set that up, come all the way in, and then create yourself a nice, if you went out to 10 miles, and then, because this is basically 270, you went 5 miles up this way, that would give you a nice base leg to come straight in. At maybe 8 or 10 miles. I mean, you could, might be a little bit sporting if you really want a 30-degree intercept, so 060, technically 058, but 0605 miles, that would give you a nice closing angle. So it looks like we've got someone ahead. I'm going to set 160. Checked, the airplane is slowing. The Ortho is looking good. Where's that? Oh, probably shouldn't have done that. Does that look like Stock? No. A little bit further out than that. For no. Turnhill, that looks more like Turnhill to me. Which is Shawbury's relief landing ground. Where'd it go? There it is. Yeah, that's got markings all over it, hasn't it? But apart from those little bits of terrain that don't look perfect, it's not bad, and it's free, apart from having to buy hard drives to stick it on. So, we are going to make sure that the airplane sorts its speed out. Which it has. let's see if Fix 10, the Zibo, has tweaked, is any better. I was having trouble yesterday, or the day before, whenever it was, with the throttle retard arm. The airplane pitched before reducing. So we'll see if it does it this time. Yes, there we go. That's better, isn't it? That's nice, right path, nice and smooth. So actually this route takes us straight over to Shopton, which the thumbnail that was on before the thumbnail for this video is of when I flew over Bristol on the way to Shopton. Not bad little airfield. And if I pop that on the ADF 426, on the standby, you see it's picking it up straight ahead. Straight ahead there. Don't know if we'll be able to see it. That looks like it. That looks like a runway to me with a bit of a field in the way, which is pretty accurate. It's cool. Trip to the toilet. So if you are watching again, say hi and I'll be back in just a few moments. Go a little bit noisy, but we are seeing Shopton. Nice bit of reflection, so I think I turned those up slightly, and that's what it does look like. We're parking outside, nice little cafe, and not all of the runway available, which is a bit sad, but well worth a visit, even if you don't fly in. So that's going overhead. So back on to the chat. No more new messages. If you're watching, do say hi. Tower, no. Approach, no. And London, no. So, not quite sure of the 160 restriction here. But I'm sure we can make it. I'm just going to let VNAV do its thing because that is a 30-mile ring, so we might be a little bit high. while doing the procedures, so we can afford to go outbound a little bit. Terrain's looking pretty good. See the Bristol Channel out there, where we will be going. It's still a little bit stuttery, but I think that's just, like I said before, just need some tweaks. Hello again, Rick. I think you've joined back just at an ideal time. That is the wrong window. So, Retrise 11015, set 1 available, second 268, confirm with the nav data 268. Check height will be 19204 DME. Our minima are 801. The missed approach is straight ahead to 3000.
1,000 to go.
And back into the... Oh, then as directed, that's interesting. Wind chill warnings. Wind is not particularly strong. And that is our approach. It's auto brake 3, flat 40. And we're going to level off and see if we can't get in. This might be a bit of a dirty dive. 1228. Who is ahead of us? So there is an easy on the way behind us. There is us. And then who is this that's quite low? I don't see anyone. Okay, United. Anyway. Let's double check.
Kilometers or more, no cloud detected. Temperature +21. Dew point +6. QNH 1023. Threshold elevation 601 feet. Bristol information. Acknowledge your receipt of information, Golf. And advise aircraft type on first contact time 1720. Automatic. Runway in use 27.
Oh, yeah, no, 27.
Transition level, flight level 70. Surface wind 160. 7 knots. Visibility 10. Kilometers or more, no cloud detected. Temperature +21. Dew point +6.
So we don't know that's changed. So will that make any difference to us? It might. It's the only items that have changed. Still needing auto brake 3. VMF still the same. So let's just get that descent going. Because that profile has been calculated pretty high. We are going to have to level at 10,000 just to lose that excess speed. So a little bit of VNAV balkage there because that was in there and it was already indicating too low, even though that was a hard restriction. So the profile should have been from here. I suppose it probably technically wasn't possible, which is why we've gone into this spectacularly dirty dive with speed brake. So let's just go level change at this point. Ortho of England are looking pretty good. Bristol traffic, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, inbound expecting runway 27, Bryce 1 Alpha expecting EVGA at minute 43. So
1,000 to go.
we're happy to out acquire, bring the speed back, so the airplane may level off pretty violently, which I didn't really want. So the MSA is 3000, so let's clear ourselves down once we've slowed down. Set 1023. Cabin secure. Bound. Phones on silent. And sadly, without approach, this is a little bit of a mess, but we are inbound. You can see that we are inbound on the ADF. We use speed brake. And when you look at that, actually, speed brake might not quite be needed. So we should be 3000 at Bristol. Of course, we've got to slow down a bit as well. Bristol 3000 or above. It's alright, so profile's coming back. It seemed a bit of a mess, if you ask me. So maybe we could have comfortably made that. So, tower is online. Of course, they're not going to take over the approach. I don't think London will either. So let's get to tower 13385. And we are looking for... Have I set up for 09? No, I've set up for 27. Good, I'm still good. So we did check it. So the issue that we might have is we need the downwind ILS on for runway 27. So India Bravo Tango Sierra, yes, we've got. I'm going to expect X-Plane to get this a bit wrong because it's weird. It's weird with the ILS. So 27 is in use. A little bit stuttery. The frame rate's dropped off a little bit. I guess it's just loading up scenery, but it's still so much better than before. Dropping down a little bit. You can see, I don't know if you can see, it's a bit stuttery. That's looking pretty rubbish. There's a big old bridge there, which I have driven across only once, and then we did fly across in a little VRYR along up here and over the bridge. Weird, never mind. Maybe it needs the VFR layer on for bridges. So, you appear to be a little bit off profile. The procedure is max 185, so as we've spoken about before, we are going to have to let's peg that for the rate of descent. Start bringing the speed back. So we'll need to be probably flap 1 at least outbound. There is no hold, we could put a hold in. So 10 miles to tower.
Request descent passing via level 230.
Sorry, station calling Bristol, report your position.
My position is inbound Delta Alpha Whiskey Lima Yankee. Portugal 76.
Yeah, you're way outside of my airspace. So now I'm on a Unicorn 122.8. Call me when you're established on the localizer.
Copy. Call me when established on the localizer.
Bristol Tower, good evening. Ryanair 7 Delta X-Ray. We are 8 miles to run to the Bravo Romeo India. Request a procedural approach, runway 27. If not, we'll go into the hold.
Easy 423, monitor Unicorn 122.8, bye-bye.
Going to 122.8, bye-bye, easy 423.
So it's 268 left.
Ryanair 7 Delta Tracer, just bear with me for a second.
Roger, if we need to, we can go in the hold, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. So standard hold.
Thousand to go.
No, that's not 268, is it? That hold is going to be
United 7 Delta X-ray. Traffic is a United aircraft on a 12-mile final for runway 27. Report beacon outbound.
Copy the traffic, Wilco, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. So, no hold.
$2,500.
So we are 103. Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, overhead beacon outbound.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, roger, report, base down complete.
Wilco, descending 2,500 QNH 1023, base tow complete, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray.
Thousand to go.
So we've got some traffic to worry about. Not tracking that too badly, but what we're not going to get yet, that's fine. So it's realised we're not going to be in the hold. I'm happy to keep it in heading. Should see some traffic out there.
Cessna 100 requesting IFR clearance to London Heathrow.
Looking for 8 miles.
Altitude flight level 70.
Cessna 100 standby, I will call you back.
So we got tower, ground is no longer online. My radio calls were a bit gash. That's some interesting and very big looking traffic. United 78. Well, it looks like a 78 to me.
Cessna 100, if you'd like to refile your flight plan as you filed a flight plan from Gatwick, we're at Bristol.
Roger.
I think he's got a lot of work. Got Easy following us in.
Crystal Tower, good afternoon, EG65 for Quebec, A320 stand 3 with information.
I know there's just one clown going straight above us.
Request for is Edinburgh, we got request for May 09 for departure, please.
It's this guy.
EG65
just following the FMC.
Tower, hello, you appeared to Edinburgh, Brecon 1 X-ray departure, squawk 3374, I'll get back to you with the request.
Okay, what do squawk 6674 then we'll I guess part up with the departure now then 86 left for Quebec.
Actually yeah, I will get back to you shortly.
So looking for 8 DME and we'll let the airplane fly outbound.
Was the route incorrect as well, Cessna 100?
087 is not what we want to see.
Yes, especially the route. The route you followed is from Gatwick. Nosma is a waypoint from Gatwick.
Oh, so actually because we were in heading.
Traffic.
Oh, really?
EV9 Echo Uniform, hello. At 2,500.
Yeah, 9 Echo units. But if you'd like to slow down a bit, you've just cut off a Ryanair 737 in front of you. Behind you, sorry now.
Yeah, we will. EV9 Echo Uniform, sorry about that.
And Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, more traffic information for you. There's an EasyJet ahead of you. He's just completely cut you off. He's about 500 feet above you.
Visual Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray.
brilliant.
EV9 Echo Uniform, do you want me to disconnect? Would that make it easier?
The climb would help me out.
We'll climb EV9 Echo Uniform.
Runner 7 Delta X-ray, just intercepting localizer, runway 27, 9 miles.
Runner 7 Delta X-ray, roger, continue approach runway 27, you are becoming number 1, 7.160 degrees at 7.
Continue approach, Runner 7 Delta X-ray, thanks. So localizer onto that was a bit of a mess.
654 Quebec, Bristol.
Go ahead, E654 Quebec.
Is there any specific reason you want to use 09 or?
This is all good fun.
It's just we flew in about 10 minutes ago and the winds are favouring 09, especially the upper winds are quite favourable for 09 and so it's quite a short runway here. We don't really want to be running out of our banks.
Roger.
It's amazing what a little bit of distracting can do. So, he's climbing away, that's good. Fit for the approach, approach armed. I don't know if everyone does it that way, but localizer capture. We're at 6 miles. Our descent is going to come at 5.8.
Echo uniform runway 27, cleared to land, surface wind indicating 160 degrees 7 knots.
Cessna 100, flight plan is updated. Would you like me to repeat the
Cessna 100, it would be handy if you didn't cut off pilot's reback, and no, you haven't restarted your flight plan, it's exactly the same as before.
So 3000's our missed. Start switch is continuous. Speed brakes on, auto brakes set. Gear down 3 green. We're continuing our approach. This guy has no idea where he's going. I think he may have got confused with the call sign. Right, 7 Delta X-ray. 4 DME, runway 27, are we cleared?
Runner 7 Delta X-ray, yeah, roger, sorry about that, runway 27, clear to land, test wind 160 degrees 7 knots.
That's right, no problem, it's fun here today. Clear land, 27, runway 7 Delta X-ray. Oh, stressful. Let's get the aeroplane stabilised at
1,000.
25 and then flap 40. A little bit late configuring.
Approaching 27.
A bit twitchy. So
500.
now.
And easy
Oh, we stayed just about.
Quick clearance for runway 09 when you're ready to copy.
But it's got to 9654.
400.
Easy 654,
Approaching
clear to
minimums.
Edinburgh, the Brecon 1 Zulu
300.
departure, squawk 3374.
First one
200.
back at 1 Zulu departure.
Making it
squawk
look
3,
much
3,
harder
7,
work than
4,
it is.
654
Continue.
Quebec, thank you.
654 Quebec,
100.
readback, correct.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Down we come.
Long
No,
landing.
that's not
Long
that long.
landing. 4,000 feet remaining.
Spoilers out, reversers deployed. 47-minute flight. And that wasn't too bad today.
80 knots.
So once we're assured of landing, reversers can be stowed. Manual braking. Welcome to Bristol.
And easy
255, I'll take that.
I've got an amendment to your clearance when you're ready to copy.
God, that's a bit of a drop down that end, isn't it?
Easy
100 remaining.
We are ready for potential census.
Easy 65 Whiskey Hotel, before that I've got an amendment to your clearance when you're ready to copy.
Okay, we're ready. 65 Whiskey Hotel.
65 Whiskey Hotel, you're re-cleared to Genève. Watan 1 Zulu departure. First waypoint will be Watan. Squawk 1144 as before.
Okay, Watan 1 Zulu and squawks remains the same. 1144 BZ 65 Whiskey Hotel.
65 Whiskey Hotel, read back correct. When ready, push and start approved. Runway 09.
Runway 09 and when ready, we're clear for push and start BZ 65 Whiskey Hotel.
Right at 7 Delta X-ray, welcome to Bristol, taxi stand 35.
Thanks very much, stand 35, run SF Delta X-ray. Cool, so needs a bit of power, and I think this is just the default scenery, which is quite good.
Bristol Tower, good evening. Lufthansa 1824 requesting clearance to Edinburgh. We're at stand 1 and we're going to be in Embraer E195 with information Oscar.
Rate temps not too bad.
Lufthansa 1824 Bristol Tower, hello, you're cleared Edinburgh, Brecon 1 Zulu departure, squawk 3371.
Cleared Edinburgh by the Brecon 1 Zulu departure, squawk
Zibo says landing was good. Turn up.
Lufthansa 1824.
Wasn't terrible. It's better than the last one.
Lufthansa 1824, the readback correct.
So 35, that's actually sort of first on the left. So we'll get the APU started now because it's a pretty short taxi. Get the power back. So we should be turning left just where Foxtrot comes in. Towers, apologies, runner 7 Delta X-ray. Was it stand 35 or 25?
Stand 35.
35, thanks, runner 7 Delta X-ray. So that'll be down here on the left. I think there are meant to be some stands here. Okay, maybe they're not modelled. So 35 should be second, which is this one. Should actually be some more stands over on our left. So, not the first. But the second. So, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's a pretty successful, pretty ropey approach, but a pretty successful arrival into Bristol. There are absolutely no parking markings, which is rubbish. But EVGA is on.
Easy 9 Echo Uniform 1 final approach for 127.
Right at 9 Echo Uniform, correction, even 9 Echo Uniform, runway 27 clear to land, service with 160 degrees, 7 knots.
Please run for me to 7 Easy 9 Echo Uniform.
So, 2 blues, 1 red. Engine's dead. Brent, welcome finally to Bristol. So what was a bit of a sketchy flight, an hour after departure, just after 7 o'clock even without procedural outbound, and here we are. A successful flight, first trip with the new one on VATSIM, and I'm pretty happy with that. Get the APU off. And get the airplane secure. And we can watch an EasyJet come in. Not crashed, I guess. I think that's worth a screenshot, isn't it? There's somebody else outbound as well. So ideally should have gone into the hold, but hey, online flying is all fun. This guy's going to struggle to get down with everyone having to taxi back. But anyway, I'm going to run and have dinner.
First target evening, easy 158 kilo, stand number 6, LZ 320, QNH 1023, requesting clearance and startup.
So anyway, thanks for watching. As you can see, the scenery's looking alright, the ortho's looking alright, and what it certainly looks like we're getting the right right liveries, which is good. Something light over there, and an EasyJet making it back as well, which is pretty cool. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll have a bit more time to prep and do some better flights over the weekend. I hope you can join me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.